Hello people, how are you today? Welcome to my tutorial for today. I hope I'm meeting us all well. Today we are going to be doing something very exciting. We are going to be making a type of cloth called drebu. That is a dress and bubu combined in one. And I'm going to be using this fabric for it. Okay, I have 4 yards of it. I already split it, 2 for front and 2 for the back. Okay, so quickly we'll just get right ahead with it. Thank you for being here, and if you are yet to subscribe because you are new, feel free to do so and you will not regret doing that. Okay, so I folded into 2. I'll be cutting the center from. First of all, I'm going to be padding it. My shoulder is 17 inches, so I'll measure 17 inches. Okay. Meanwhile, I have here the length of my dress. It doesn't have any half cut. Okay, so from shoulder down to the desired length. So my shoulder, I'm taking 4 inches, 3 inches for shoulder slope, and 1 inch here. Shoulder to bust is 12.5 inches. So I'm marking 13 inches. Under bust is 3.5. Upper bust 3.5. Half length is 17 inches. I'm marking 17.5. Okay. Hip is 9 inches below the waistline. Okay. So we have here shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust, shoulder to half length at the waist, and this is the upper bust. I'll just extend the lines so it becomes obvious. Alright, bust to bust is 8 inches. My sewing allowance, I'll use half, so I'll mark 4.5. So with a slight curve, I'm going to connect it here. Okay, so this 4.5, I will take it down to the length of my dress. Okay, so next we need to carefully cut it out and notch these 3 points. Okay, and because of the pattern the dye has on this fabric, I'm going to be using a V neck. So neck width 4 inches and neck depth 8 inches. Okay, now over to the sides. Okay, so I place the center front again, making sure I have up to 3 inches here. First, I'm going to mark the notch points. And then I'll draw out this shape down to the hemline. Okay, so I've done that. These are the 3 points. I also traced out the shape. Next, we need to put my measurements. So I'm going to be placing my bust measurement, waist measurement, and hip measurement. This is the hip line, this is the waistline, and this is the bust line. Okay, so I'm using armhole of 8.5 inches, which is here. Bust is 44, that is 11. Waist is 39, that is 9.75. Hip is 44. $11 as well. I'll be using sewing allowance of 2.5 inches. And the bust I'll use 2. Okay, so I will take this hip measurement down to the hemline. Okay, so what do I have here? 13.5. 13.5. Okay. Next will be to measure my 2.5 inches. Connect it here and then here. Okay. So I will then cut. Okay, so next will be to now cut the back. The center back and the center front are the same except for the zipper allowance. So I'm going to use the center front to cut the center back. Okay, so this is how I'm going to be cutting the center back. I have a zipper allowance of 1 inch here. Okay, so I'll just cut. I hope you get that. I'll follow this shape still and cut it down. The only difference is maybe the neckline and then this zipper allowance here. Okay, so I've cut it out. Hope you see it. But I'll still leave it like this and take the body measurement. Bust is 44. 11, seam allowance of 2.5 inches. Waist is 39, 9.75, 2.5 inches. Hip is 44, 11, 2.5 inches. So I'll do exactly what I did at the front. I'll connect it. Take this hip measurement down to the hemline. Armhole is 8.5 inches. I'm extending here by 1 inch. Okay, instead of this way. I hope you get that. So instead of this way, I extended it by 1 inch so that when I'm joining, it does not short. Okay. So I'll connect this bust to waist to hip, and then I'll take it down to the hemline. Okay. So now having separated it, I'm going to go ahead and put the neck depth for the back, 2.5 inches. For the front, we used 4 inches, so I'll maintain the same 4 inches. Okay. Now I have here the two sides of the front, that is here, and the two sides of the back. Okay. At the lower part, I want to remove 1 inch at the lower part. Then I'll connect it to the hip line. 1 inch. Okay, so now this is the 1 inch. I will trim it off. I'm going to remove it so that the lower part becomes a little 1 inch narrower than the hip. Okay, I want it well round and remove it. Okay, now I'll proceed to cut the lining and the wooding for the front, for the bustier. Okay, you can use a full lining and you can use half lining. Lining has been cut. I also used an interlining and the fabric. It's just to give it some weight. Now I will go and start to join. I'm going to be joining the back this way. I'll join this to this. It becomes one piece. I will join the other side. And then for the front, you know it is long. So we need to be careful in joining it. You will make sure that this point matches with this notch. Okay? That way you have a perfect curve. Okay? So when you do that, whatever that is left at the lower part, you are free to cut it off. So I'll join the back, fabric to fabric, lining to lining. Then I'll use the lining to line the fabric. I hope it's clear. Just a normal lining. I'm going to join this to this separately. I will join the lining also separately. Then I will use the lining to line the fabric. Same for the back. I've lined it. I lined it as if I were making a sleeveless dress. I closed here and then down to the hemline. and then the neck. The same thing for the back. You can see I closed here. This is the armhole. Okay, so I will turn it and then attach the front and the back at the shoulder. Okay, I've joined at the shoulder. Next will be to close the back and attach the zip. So I'll join the back together. Like this. And then I'm going to measure about 19 inches. This is for my zip. Okay, so I'm closing with 7.5. Okay, so I will sew from here down to where I want it to end before I leave it open for the slit, because there's slit at the back. Okay, let's say I'll be closing from here. I'll sew from here to this point. So from here to the hemline remains open, and then I will attach my zip. So I've closed it up. I've also attached my zipper. Sorry, I closed with 0.75, not 7.5, please. 0.75. My zipper allowance was 1 inch. I used quarter to sew, so what is left of the 1 inch is what I used to close it up. Okay, next will be to now go for the sleeve. Now on the right side of this fabric, I already marked my body measurements out. Okay, from my shoulder to about 37 inches will be for the sleeve. That is at this point, will be for the sleeve. So I will cut the sleeve 37 inches. When unfold, of course, you know. I hope you know, because the sleeve is coming from here to the front side. I hope you get that. So I have here 38 inches. 1 inch is for the seam allowance. Okay, and then the boldness of the sleeve depends on what you want. So all I'll do will just be to curve it. I took no measurement. Actually, I'll still be adding something here because this is small for what I want. So I'll still need to add some fabrics here, okay, so that it will give me a wider sleeve. Hope you understand. I will just cut where I marked. Okay, so this is for one. This is for one sleeve. It is 2. I'm going to be joining it here, okay, and then add about 4 inches more on this side so that it will give me a wider sleeve. When I do that, I will then cut the lining and line it. Now I've done the attachment and I've gotten the exact boldness I want for the sleeve. I will then put shoulder slope 1.5 inches. Now I will cut an interlining, put it first before I now use lining to cover it. The lining has been done and also joined at the shoulder. As you can see, I lined this part, that is the part that will be outside here. Then the one that will be on the shoulder, I did not line it. Right. The next thing now is to attach. I already marked my body measurements earlier. I hope you remember that. This is my body measurement. So all I need to do is to attach this sleeve this way, making sure that this point laps here, and then you sew this way on your exact body measurement. I hope you see where I am marking. Here is my waist, so I will sew from here this way, not on my bust. I'm not sewing on my bust. Okay, I'm attaching from here down to the waist, then I continue on the line of my body measurement. So I will sew until I get to the end of the sleeve. I'm going to do it on the other side and the other side as well. See, I've attached the sleeve. I make sure I sew on the line of my body measurement so that when I'm joining, I can take this rough edge inside, starting from the waist. Okay? So now I'll go and join them at the two sides using the body measurement, and also fold it at the hemline, and that will be all. And here we have our drebu ready to be wrapped. If you are yet to subscribe, please subscribe. I need that. And please don't stop watching my videos. Give us your thumbs up if this tutorial has been helpful to you in any way. And also leave your comments in the comment section. Okay? I love you from the bottom of my heart, and keep being innovative with every sense of kindness. Take care of yourself and see you in my next tutorial. Bye.